Well, thank you so much and good afternoon, everyone. I'm super excited to be here today to talk to you about what you need to know as an entrepreneur. I have been an entrepreneur for the last 6 years, 6.5 years, and I have tons of lessons learned that I would love to share with you today. So, what we're going to be talking today is what are the business foundation essentials that you need to know and have when you're going to start your own business. I think that is very critical because a lot of people start the business and they don't have a roadmap that they can follow in order to do that. We also going to talk about what are those traps that you need to avoid when you want to start a business because you want to make sure that you're effective when you do your start your business. How to overcome the financial challenges that comes with being an entrepreneur and how you can be able to successfully navigate through that. And also, what are those key resources that are out there that maybe you don't know about that we can point you to the right direction so that you can use them effectively and that you feel that you have a support system surrounding you. So I think that that will be very, very helpful for everybody in this audience today. So let's get started. The first one, what are the essential things or business foundations that you have? Let me first make the disclosure that there is a whole list of items that you need to have in order to start your business. What I thought and I did was, what are the key ones that I know that when you start a business, you need to have in order to have a right foundation, at least a solid foundation as you keep adding or you keep growing, what you should have. The first thing is your business structure. What that means is, are you going to be a non-for-profit? Are you going to be a LLC? Are you going to be an S corp? You know, what are all the business structures that you should be aware so that you can effectively start your business? And why is this important? Because if you don't choose the right business structure, you're going to have some personal liability as well as professional liabilities in regards to your business. So in this case, if you don't know where to start, I would advise you to talk to either your bookkeeper or to talk to an accountant. And you can also read on the Small Business Administration website what is the difference, the pros and cons of each one, so that you know exactly what kind of exposure you will have personally, depending on the business structure that you have. The second thing is you need to register your business, right? You're going to have your name, you're all excited, but when you're going to go and register your business, you find out that now you cannot use that name because somebody else has it. So in Florida, we use somebiz.org to register the name. So it's critical that before you do your business card, that you find out if your name is going to be active or not before you can start using the name. The next thing is going to be your federal tax ID, and it's what we call EIN, the employer identification number. And this is important because whenever you do your taxes or you have employees, or even when you provide services to another company and they want to pay you, as they onboard you on their company accounts receivable, they are going to require this number. So it's very important that you have this number. One that a lot of people don't think about or feel like, you know what, I don't do it now because I don't have the money, is business insurance. Why business insurance is so critical? Business insurance, like your car insurance, is going to protect you if you have an accident. If something happens, if you give bad advice, if you do a service and you break something and people feel like you are liable, having business insurance really going to help you mitigate the costs that you're going to have in your business. One thing that, including myself, we didn't think of was about business interruption insurance. What that means is with the maybe a hurricane comes or an act of God or what just happened, COVID-19, if you were had the business interruption insurance, this insurance would have been able to help you pay rent, help you pay your employees, and so forth. So I know I'm personally looking into the expense of that because if there's another shutdown next year, I want to protect my business. I want to protect my asset, and having this type of insurance really going to help me. So again, speak with your professional agent and see how much is that going to be and how you can get into it, because it might be something again that you might want to have before something else happen again this year. And last but not least, what are your tax obligation and your record keeping, right? You always need to pay taxes. So you need to do quarterly taxes. You need to maybe do estimates. What is it that you need to do for not only federal returns, but also for the state that you have to do as a business owner? So you want to make sure that you understand what are the requirements so that you can take care of those. So again, there's a long list of like a checklist of all the things that you need to take into consideration, but I feel like these ones are really very strong and very foundational for starting a business. Next, what are the business traps, right, that you want to avoid? Number one is having your business, having the basics. Everything that I just mentioned are basic. It's like the foundation, because if you don't have that, as you continue to grow, and if you don't have a firm foundation, you're going to crumble. You're not going to be able to make it. I have a lot of friends. Unfortunately, when I started my business 6 years ago, a friend of mine started his business, a consulting firm in auditing, and he didn't have a good foundation. He ended up losing $1 million. $1 million. That's a lot of money to lose because they didn't have the right foundation. Didn't have a lot of things that he needed to have as an entrepreneur. And unfortunately, he lost, a lot, including his marriage when all this happened. So again, not having a good foundation, not having a good business plan is very important. I know that the Center for Women in their small business arm that they have their center, they can provide you with tools and help you create that business plan. So I advise you to take advantage of that and create a good business plan so that you know what is the roadmap. A business plan is like a roadmap. Where do I go from step A to B to C and D so that you can be successful? Another one is losing sight of what you are really want to do. And I'm going to talk to you my experience. I started doing the consulting job business, and then I wanted to expand to do team building activities, and then I wanted to expand to do training. Everything was related to, but I needed to solidify my HR consulting before I started opening other line of business. So for me, that was a lesson learned. I was able to immediately retrench, concentrate on what I needed to do, and I was able to successfully move forward. But again, those are the kind of path that you need to make sure that you are straight and what you want to do and follow that before you move into other line of business. Following and establishing proper financial boundaries. Become an entrepreneur is a lot of work, a lot of sacrifices, and a very big financial commitment on your part. So you need to know what is your budget. You need to establish a budget. You need to establish your P&L, your profit and losses. That is foundational. Those are things that you need to know so that you can understand how much money you have to spend or how much money you need to collect in order to continue to operate an effective business. Something that entrepreneurs go through a lot is that they try to do it all themselves because they don't have enough money to pay other people. I understand that, and that is true. However, when you try to do that, you're diluting yourself because you're trying to be an operator, you're trying to be the salesperson, you're trying to be the marketer, the IT person, and also the bookkeeper. So when you are thinking of establishing your business, I would advise you to really think through it and think, how can I spend some money in this key area so that I can free myself and be more successful in the other ones. There are also sources, internship, that people that you can do, people who are retired and who wants to give back to the community. So really try to find people who can help you so that way you don't have all the load on you to try to move your business, moving it forward. The other thing is ignoring problems. As you start your business, you're going to confront problems, and it's critical that you identify those and make the point to address them instead of saying, hey, I'm going to deal with that later. I'm going to deal with that later. And when you come and open your eyes, what you have is a bunch of issues that because you didn't take care of them, they're compounding the problems, and now you're not being effective in your company. So it's critical that you have someone helping you, or you take care one day a week that you can look at the issues and you can resolve them. Also, people feel, hey, I start my business, I'm going to start making a lot of money. And I pray and hope that all of you can very quickly. What I did when I started my business, I didn't pay myself for an entire year. That is a long time for you not to get a paycheck. But because I knew that I wanted to go into business, I prepared myself for 2 years in order to be in that place. So I didn't have any debt. So I didn't have anything that I can do. However, not everybody might be able to be in that position. So you really need to prepare yourself to be on extended amount of time without paying yourself. So the money that comes into the business, you can pay your expenses, pay your employees, and continue to grow your business. And the last but not least is self-doubt. I think a lot of people start becoming an entrepreneurship. And once they start seeing all these traps that I'm talking about or all the challenges, they say, you know what, this is not for me, which I respect and understand. But if you feel in your heart that this is something that you really want to do, then give it all yourself, give it all, and fight for what you want, fight for the dream that you want, and also surround yourself with people who are going to be positive and who are going to be your cheerleaders instead of people, well, I told you not to do it, because then that will really defeat the purpose of what you're trying to do and the goal that you have established. And that's something very easy to do. I can tell you many sleepless nights, many nights that, I was like, oh my God, did I did the right thing? But what really helped me was that everybody that was surrounding with me, and as I'm talking to you in this very moment, it's is a realization that not one person told me ever, hey, maybe you need to rethink this. Hey, maybe this is not for you. What I got was, if anybody can do it, you will be the one who can do it. Hey, continue. You are doing great. You're almost there. Continue to push. Or by the way, how can I help you? And as I reflect and have this conversation with you, it's like that aha moment, right? Of how beautiful that journey has been, that you have those people surrounding yourself and helping you continue to live your dream. How to overcome those financial challenges? I think that this is very hard for people because, again, they don't understand what they need to go through. And my advice is you need to have somebody who can help you navigate and understand what are all your startup costs. Uh, Thinking about 5 things, it honestly is not enough. I just gave you all the business uh, basics that you need to have. And that's only not even a third of the list. There's so many startup costs that you need to take into consideration. You need to identify your expenses so that you know how you can do it. Maybe you're not going to be able to take care of all of them you financially. So proactively look for financial sources that you can use to help you. There's a lot of grants out there for women, minority women, grant for different, businesses that you start. So go to the Center for Women, ask them to help you identify what help is out there that maybe you can take a grant and start your business. I know that I have been blessed and I have been able to get some help from different grants, and that have helped me on my business. If you're going to do your own funding, maybe you can get some friends who can invest in your company, or you can take a business loan administration, which their interest rate are significantly lower than if you go to a bank. And for those of you who are brave enough, have a line of credit. A lot of people take an equity line out of their homes, which is something very how you say, a big step for you as an entrepreneur. But some people believe so strong in their dreams and believe that they're going to give it their all. And I think that that's something that you should do. I can tell you personally, when I started my business, I went to one of the big banks to give me a line of credit. And to my surprise, they told me no, because I didn't have no revenue. I didn't never have done a business. So I felt very defeated, because I was like, man, I need somebody to give me a chance and opportunity to do this. So I said, okay, so I didn't get the line of credit. I didn't need it at that time. I just wanted to have it as an insurance. I wanted to have it in case I need it. So time moved fast forward 2 years into my business. I'm doing, really well. And I was introduced to another local bank in Tampa, which has been phenomenal. And they provided me with a line of credit based on my personal assets and my credit score. And they helped me in that sense. And I was so appreciative, because I needed somebody to believe on me, and they did. And I moved all my business to that bank, and I happy that I did it because they understood what is it to be a small business owner. And I think that for me, it's a lesson learned that I want to share with you. Make sure that you have a bank that understand small businesses and that they will be able to find solutions to the problems that you might have. What are those key resources that you should surround yourself, like I mentioned to you, that have been very positive for me through this journey? Having a mentor, having a business consultant, somebody that you can say, hey, I'm confronting this issue. How can I go about it? Or that day that you feel defeated and you need somebody to hear you, to be your sounding board, you need to have one person like that, because you're going to have a lot of sleepless night that you're going to feel like, I don't know if I make the right choice. And you need somebody to help you navigate through your doubts, but also navigate you with the issues that you have. A good bookkeeper and accountant, that's the best investment that you can make. A bookkeeper is cheaper than accountant. They're going to help you do your billing, reconcile your accounts, and then do your P&L on a monthly basis so that you know how much money you're making, how much money you're losing, what are the costs of expenses. If you have a loan, it's going to give you a good picture where you are. And then your accountant will be able to file your taxes and give you ideas of how you can generate more revenue, or how they can protect your business financially in a better place. Marketing professional, again, you're going to have to advertise. It's important that you have somebody like that. As I mentioned to you, banker has been very important for me because they will understand what are your needs and can work with your accountant to get the money that you need. And one that I failed to mention here is your IT professional. Having somebody that, if you're having issues with your computer, if you're having issues with your website, who can come in and help you navigate through those areas that you have. So again, a lot of lessons learned through my professional career before I was in corporate America. Then I transitioned to be an entrepreneur, 6.5 years, which now I have 3 businesses. I have real estate, I have the HR consulting, and now I have the paint and business. And now that I feel that my painting company and flooring company is in a place that I feel comfortable. Now I'm adding a different line that is going to be handyman work. And I did it because, again, what I learned from my first business. So I think that it's important that you have those lessons learned so that you can share them and make sure that you don't make the same mistakes so that you can continue to move forward. So I hope that my lessons learned and my journey as an entrepreneur has helped you. And I am excited to be here to help you navigate, to be your cheerleader, to make sure that you can be successful. Because one of my mottos, and I have always done this, is pay it forward, right? As a woman, we need to support each other. We need to make sure that, hey, there's somebody else that have walked your journey. How can I bring you along so that you don't have to go through the pains and the experiences that I went through, that if somebody would have done that for me, I didn't have to, go through them. So I appreciate your attention, and I'm open right now if you have any questions that you might want to give to me. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Betsy. That was an amazing presentation. As you mentioned, the Center for Women does have an amazing Women's Business Center where we do offer business mentorship as well as networking. And we do provide that. Oh, Octavia, you have a question?
Yes, for Betsy. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this presentation. I think it was right, spot on, and every single thing you said definitely spoke to me right now. So I really thank you for your word of positivity and encouragement. My question really is
Sure.
kind of surrounding, COVID-19. What have you done? What kind of steps have you had to make in order to become more innovative to, get your message out there? Like now everything is virtual, and
Mhm.
and being in the construction kind of management business, I work with individuals in that as well. So that kind of hampers it because it's a very much a face-to-face interaction. And being a consultant, being an entrepreneur, really you're your best, PR, because you know your business, you know your passion, and no one else can quite express it the way that you do. What have you found that's worked with you during this time?
Sure, great question, Octavia. You know, when the COVID came and we went and shut down, it was for 3 weeks, right? That everybody was so somber. I took that opportunity to really send messages to my clients and people that I have met through networking. And I did it just to keep in touch, to tell them, hey, how you're holding up, how you're doing, and just trying for them to understand, hey, I'm going through the same thing, but I'm still here to help you. And you will be surprised how so many people, number one, appreciated that I did that. And I was not asking for business. I was sincerely just reaching out as, hey, I'm here. Do you want to talk? You know, I just wanted to support people. And that really helped me, because once business started to pick up, guess what? People start calling me. The other thing that I did, I was fortunate, again, very blessed that I was in HR. And, you know, that's one of my businesses. So when COVID hit, a lot of employee relation issues, a lot of things. So I really had to help my clients through that process. One thing that I really had to do was to financially support, adjust myself in terms of like, hey, I'm not going to be able to bill my clients as I normally do, because they were asking me, hey, can you help me out? Hey, I'm going to pay you, but can you hold the bill until, you know, a few weeks from now? And that was a big ask. But again, we were all on this together, and I did it. And I can tell you, it has paid so many times for me, because all my business from day one in all my businesses has been by referral. And I believe that I have got that because I always have made a point to pay it forward. I never help anyone expecting something. And because of that, always come back to me, because I did it out of good, you know, good vibe, a positive. And I think that for me, Octavia, that really helped me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, that was beautiful. I really appreciated that. We do have another question that came through the chat. It says, how can you find a good accountant? I had one set up and he's not delivered multiple times now. So just kind of being frustrated with finding somebody who's reliable.
Mhm. I think number one, speak to your friends. They're gonna have an accountant, and you can ask them. But also, the Small Business Administration through the USF have a list of small businesses who are accountants that they can help you. The Business Center for the Center for Women can also have a resource that can tell you. And again, the most critical piece of people that can help you is your accountant. That is like your right hand. That is your CFO. So you really need to have a good accountant. I said I'm super excited because I have a great bookkeeper. Because again, you don't need to have an accountant for everything. That usually is going to be more expensive than if you do it with a bookkeeper. So I have an exceptional bookkeeper, and then she speak with my accountant, the three of us, and she provides to my accountant what she needs in order to give me guidance of like, hey, this is what you have to do this quarter, or this is how you need to pay yourself, you know, moving forward at the end of the year, so that we can manage your taxes. So those two areas can help you.
Yeah, and it also looks like someone just said that they have a good recommendation as well. So maybe even just networking in this kind of
Yeah,
spaces as well.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Betsy, this is Ann Matson. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for doing this. You always pay it forward. You've helped us immensely, and it's great to have the benefit of your expertise. So
Thank
thank
you.
you for sharing that.
Thank you. Always. You know, I'm a big cheerleader of the Center for Women, and I think that I continue to be blessed because you pay it forward, it comes back to you. So, you know, again, it has a great experience for everybody out there listening to me. Please, please pay it forward. It will really pay off, and you're going to be very successful. Thank you.
So if there's no more questions, I just want to close out by saying, thank you for your time. We do know that that's probably the most valuable thing that you can give to us at this time. I'm going to go ahead and edit this recording, send it off. It will be available as well as on our YouTube channel. You'll get an email from me with some other details. Oh, sorry, there's another question if that's okay.
Sure.
What are good ways to market during COVID other than the use of social media when starting a new business? if you
I
have.
think that because we're so into social media, which I love and respect, I think that we have lost touch, personal touch. And something that I did was I send cards to my clients, a note. And I think that people in these times need something personal. And I think that if you want to even advertise your business, sending a card saying, hey, thinking of you on these times, we're still open for business, we're small business, we appreciate the community supporting us. I think it would be great. I can tell you, I have somebody who bakes cakes. She was laid off, and I always buy my cakes from Publix. But I remember that she told me that she was laid off. So what I did was, hey, I need cupcakes, and now all my baking needs, I'm gonna give it to her because I know as a small business she needs that. So I think that if you can always tell your clients, hey, you're open for business and that you're small business and you're looking for the community to continue to support you so that you can continue to support the community, I think that is a major outreach. And again, just think of things that you can do as a personal touch that are not going to cost you a lot of money. Like I said, a card is not going to cost you a lot of money, but it's a personal touch that people will appreciate that because people usually get bills on your mail. You never, people don't even send cards anymore.
Yeah, that's really great.
Great advice.
Okay. All right. So anything else before we close out? Just want to give one more opportunity for questions, comments, concerns.
No, you have my
Oh, yeah.
information. Please feel free to email me, call me, be more than happy to help you in any way that I can. So thank you for the opportunity, and thank you, Chelsea, for the coordination, and thank you to you guys joining us today. And again, keep moving forward. Don't let the outside forces really mitigate the passion that you have and the guide that you need in order to become an entrepreneur. It pays off. It's just a lot of work, but it will pay off. I promise you.